In this video, I'll discuss the multiple choice questions of Transfer Property Act 1882. So let's start this video with the question number 1. Question number 1. Before the enforcement of the Transfer of Property Act 1882, the transfer of real property in India were governed by option number A, Principle of English Law and Equity, option B, Indian Registration Act 1908, option C, British State of Goods Act 1880, and option D, Indian Contract Act 1872. So the correct answer is Principle of English Law and Equity. Question number 2. The courts before the enactment of Transfer of Property Act 1882 were forcing to decide property disputes according to their own nation and justice and fair play. Option A, because judges were making on laws. Option B, because of the absence of any specific statutory provision on the property matters. Option C, because British judges were confused with the Indian property dispute. Option D, because judges were educated in property laws. So the correct answer is option B, because of the absence of any specific statutory provision on the property matter. Because question number 3. Law Commission for the Transfer of Property Matters was appointed in England, and the draft bill prepared by the commission was introduced in Legislative Council in option A 1870, option B 1875, option C 1877, and option D 1882. So the correct answer is 1877. The draft bill of TPA was introduced in Legislative Council by Law Commission in it was introduced in 1877, and so the correct answer is 1877. Question number 4. The bill on the transfer of property was referred to option number A, First Law Commission, option number B, Second Law Commission, option number 3, Third Law Commission, and option number D, Fourth Law Commission. So the bill of transfer of property was referred to the Third Law Commission. So the correct answer is C, Third Law Commission. Question number 5. The Transfer of Property Act received its assent on option number A, 17 February 1882, option B, 22nd February 1882, option C, 23rd February 1882, and option D, 27 February 1882. So the Transfer of Property Act received its assent on 17th February 1882. So the correct answer is option A, 17th February 1882. Question number 6. First amendment was made in Transfer of Property Act 1882 in which year? Option A 1880, option B 1883, option C 1884, and option D 1885. So the first amendment in TPA was made in 1885. So the correct answer is option D, 1885. Question number 7. The Transfer of Property Act 1882 came into effect from option A 17th February 1882, option B 27th February 1882, option C 17th March 1882, and option D 1st July 1882. So the Transfer of Property Act came into effect from 1st July 1882, and it received assent from 17th February 1882. So the correct answer of this question is option D, 1st July 1882. Now the question number 8. According to the Transfer of Property Act 1882, any state government may from time to time exempt either any part of the territory from all or any sections. Option A, section 54, paragraph 2 and 3, 59, 107, and 123. And option B, section 54, 107, and 123. Option C, 54, 107, and 123. And option D, section 54, 107, and 130. So the correct answer is section 54, paragraph 2 and 3, section 59, section 107, and 123. Because State government has power to exempt either any part of the territory from all or any of the section under TPA. The sections are section 54, paragraph 2 and 3, 59, 107 and 123. Section 54 deals with the sale portion. Section 59 deals with the mortgage part. Section 107 deals with the lease part, and section 123 deals with the gift part. Question number 9. Within the meaning of provision of Transfer of Property Act 1882, the immovable property does not include option A standing timber or grass, option B standing timber, jewelry or crops, option C standing timber, growing crops or grass, option D only grasses. So section 3 of the Transfer of Property Act 1882 defines that immovable property and says that immovable property does not include standing timber, growing crops, or growing grasses. So, option number C is correct, standing timber, growing crops, or grass. Question number 10. According to the Transfer of Property Act 1882, instrument means option A known testamentary instrument, option B testamentary instrument, option C both testamentary and non testamentary instrument, option D none of the above. Section 3 also defines instrument, and it means that non-testamentary instrument. So option A is the correct answer. Instrument means non-testamentary instrument, and will does not include in instrument under section 3 of the TPA. Question number 11. Under the Transfer of Property Act 1882, the word attested means option A attested by two or more witnesses, option B attested by one witness only, option C attested by two witnesses only, and option D no condition prevail. So the correct answer is attested by two or more witnesses, because if any instrument under TPA is attested by only one witness, it shall be deemed invalid. Question number 12. Under the Transfer of Property Act 1882, registered pertains to option A registration of property, option B registration of document, option C registration of party, and option D none of the above. Under TPA, registration means the registration of document, because in transfer of property, the parties agrees to transfer one property to another, and there is in this transaction there is registration of document. So the correct answer is registration of document, option B. Question number 13. The chapters and the section of Transfer of Property Act 1882 which relate to the contract shall be the part of option A Registration Act 902, option B Sales of Goods Act 1930, option B General Clauses Act 1897, and option D Indian Contract Act. So the correct answer is Indian Registration Act 1908. Question number 14. Within the meaning of Section 4 of the Transfer of Property Act 1882, the provisions of Section 54, paragraph 2 and 3, Section 59, Section 107 and 123 shall be read as supplemented to option A Indian Contract Act, option B Indian Registration Act, option C General Clauses Act, and option D Sales of Goods Act. So the correct answer is Indian Contract Act 1882. It shall be read, the section shall be read with the Indian Registration Act. Sorry, the option B is correct answer, or Indian Registration Act. It shall be, the section shall be read with the Indian Registration Act. Question number 15. Chapter 2nd of Transfer of Property Act 1882 shall not be deemed to affect any rule of option A Mohammedan law, option B Christian law, option B Paris law, and option D none of the above. So the correct option is Mohammedan law, because chapter 2 and chapter 7 of Transfer of Property Act does not apply on Mohammedans.